The Scripture teaches us what faith is. The Scripture teaches us, it's by the Scripture that we know, and if something would contradict the nature of God, the way of God, the heart of God from the Scripture, then we know that isn't God speaking to us. We must have the Scripture, and sometimes God speaks to us from the Scripture by an application to a particular situation. But my friends, God has to speak to us individually to make His words practical, His word, His will practical in our life, to know whether to do this or do that, or to know whether, am I to go to India this year or next year? There has to be a leading of God. Every preacher that gets up, there needs to be a sense of God has been leading me in what my church needs to hear. This whole thing of, it's usually called, it's all right to call it inspiration, just don't call it revelation. Inspiration is fine. Revelation is what's taboo. But faith comes by revelation. So for hundreds of years, the church has taught God doesn't do that anymore. And then we wonder why it is that sometimes it's hard for the church to have faith. Because we've made faith a noun instead of a verb. But in the Bible, it's almost always a verb, used as a verb.